What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So as y'all know, we're already diving into the newest season 2 content we got coming to you. So let's dive straight into the newest news that we've came to, the newest patch notes that they released to us just now today. So we've got the newest maintenance results that are going to come to you through the mail system. Actually, if you haven't been keeping up with it, it's the same reason how you get mock bottle experience, things like that. 24 November 21 at 3 UTC. I'm so used to saying o'clock, but it's going to be at 0300 UTC. It's so easy to follow through the top left at your map corner. That's the best way I follow through with UTC time. I'm horrible at it. So let's dive into what they're bringing at us right now. So Season 2 update you've all been waiting for is coming. So for the server that has already been announced, calculation, once the countdown hits 0, the process for ending Season 2 will begin. So I think that's whenever, for instance, you see the registration, whenever you pull up the versus tab almost of seeing what's accessible in mixed versus what's accessible in roleplay. If you look all the way down the bottom, it'll say you have until this time. I believe that's whenever they're going to end the server pretty much, and you'll start the after calculation. But before the new season begins, there will be a 2-day buffer period. So likely what we will see is 2 days after on the 25th. We'll see too. I'm hoping the server restarts tomorrow / today if the video comes out. Y'all will see. But I hope it restarts on Thanksgiving. We'll see. If not, then it will restart on 26, which will be Friday EST time, I think. Don't quote me on that though. Specific details on each server's process for any Season 2 will be delivered to you via in-game notices, a lot like with the mail system, so be following your mail system. So, new functions, season review. This is actually pretty neat stuff. After the server results are calculated, tacticians will be able to look back on their experiences in the past season. It'd be nice to know how many units you've killed, maybe who was the most successful commander of taking tiles, that sort of thing. Commander's relationship maps. You can view relationships, alliance, and animosities between characters and Lord of the Rings lore. So, progress towards the weekly challenges, rare treasures, can be achieved by opening up any type of Matham chest. So, if I remember correctly, there was like a challenge in the season pass, for instance, that you would be able to look to almost of like I think it was like five or 10, maybe 7 chests or something like that you would open, but you wanted them to be like, I remember I was opening a bunch of Arwen chests / the Elven one, and I was like, man, why isn't this counting? I think that is now available for all Matham chest opening. So, optimized commander's background information interface, pretty neat for all the roleplay stuff. So, Season 2 update, unique equipment. It's what we've all been looking for. We've seen it since the very beginning. If you look on the bottom tab, whenever you open up a commander, there's a little sword icon, and that is what the item that you will get if you are respect level 10 of that commander going into Season 2. So, every commander will have unique equipment, and when the commander respect will reach level 10, 3 personal tasks can be unlocked after finishing 3 personal tasks. Tacticians will also need to consume mithril to combine corresponding unique equipment. So, this whole mithril thing, we don't actually know what it's going to be yet. Whether it, like how whenever you break down equipment, you can break it down into that little like equipment. I can't remember exactly what it's called, but it's a little resource where you can transfer it in for equipment that you need, pretty much. All your greens and blues, you usually want to break them down at this point. Going into season 2, you really want to break down as many as you can. Get the purples that you need. I mean, I spent a whole bunch on purple equipment that you need. If you're looking for something to refine, use that, for instance. And we'll see, for instance, if mithril is part of that resource now of what you're using, but it might also be something in game that you're using as well. So, good stuff to look forward to on that end. Season 2 update, new neutral units. So, This is honestly pretty fun to see. War Beast, hulking monsters with sheer strength and resilience. Pretty cool looking, like rhino warriors. They kind of remind me of what we saw in The Hobbit in the third, which was the riders that the dwarves had, for instance, kind of similar to that end, even though they're probably going to be bad. But the Doondlings, fierce and merciless wild men of Doonland. So, for instance, I believe that these are the same. I'm no lore master, I'm no lore master, but these are the ones that in Isengard that were hired out by Sauron to fight against Rohan / invade their lands, pillage, the good stuff, kind of like Vikings, for instance. He was kind of the one who inspired that. Hobbit hunters, nimble and gifted hunters with a bow. They're always unexpected. Pretty neat stuff. I like seeing things like this. Just new neutral camps, new units in general bring different, change the pace of the game. We might see these being a little crazy. Bree riders, elite force composed of the most skilled riders. This was probably the most unexpected one, I gotta admit. Wasn't expecting kind of a cavalry base unit to come out. You might see these being paired with marshals. You might see these being paired with any sort of unit. And what's really unique about probably all of these is that these are going to have really special effects, like with the eagles, fell beast, the elephants, oathbreakers, for instance. Those were all pretty crazy units. They all had unique stuff gifted to them that made them special than any other. So a lot like how every cavalry has the -1%, we might not actually see that. We might see two additional effects for the breed riders, for instance. Same thing with the Doonlings. We'll probably see some pretty crazy effects. And maybe something like a siege unit. We'll see. We'll see. Season 2 update, new cities. And one thing to clarify too, this is for roleplay and non-roleplay solvers, so mixed, whether or not you're going that or not. The chief mountain strongholds of the Orc, situated in one part of the Misty Mountains, east of Agmar. So this is going to be situated pretty close to where that huge mountain range crosses in between Agmar and Erebor. Well, I call it Erebor because on our map, Erebor dominated that whole part, but actually north of Lothlorien on a fresh map and to the left. You'll see probably a new stronghold pop up for Agmar. And the place towering at the cliffs in the wild desert is established by men who live in the east of Mordor. Its builders can't pronounce that, won't even try. The less known race had allied with Sauron at the end of the Third Age. So, honestly, pretty good stuff. I love to see that they are refining the Middle Earth map. Just go ahead and build upon the already good map as it is. I do think that if y'all watch the video that they came out with about the devs in the tavern, for instance, where they said that they will be working strictly upon the base map itself, by Tolkien himself, that they're going to use this as their main resource. Now, they did say very specifically that the new neutral camps, for instance, would be added in, that the placements of them even can be moved around, and we're going to see updates like that coming to the Middle Earth map. They can't just put mountains where there weren't mountains, for instance. So the way that they're going to balance the map is by experience itself, and kind of like if they need to draw, for instance, like maybe a pass in some regard, trying to help out certain factions, for instance, that they see repeatedly at one after another. They want to try and make, of course, as every faction as balanced as they can. Their goal isn't to just make Erebor the strongest on the map every time. They don't want to make Mordor the best every time they go. They want to bring diversity. They want to make you go to whatever faction, obviously, you want to go. So I believe more balance, more map changes like this will happen that will bring newest stuff out. We don't know where these breed riders are going to be. Obviously, they're probably going to be in Anor because if you remember right, Lindon, Anor, they really struggled only having the Hobbits tier 1 unit. So this will hopefully help them. The Doonlings too. Isengard was struggling because they didn't have a whole bunch of neutral units. Run as well, the War Beast are probably going to be over there because we didn't see them having a whole lot of neutral units. Honestly, Mordor was set up from the very beginning of season one to have the elephants, the Fell Beast. They were pretty stacked from the start. Run had to go out of the way to get any sort of their evil units. And I don't actually know if any were in Agmar, for instance. I never really checked up there, but I don't believe too many were in Agmar. So, certain factions were obviously a little bit better to start this season in comparison to the neutral camp. So, they are looking at the most needed things. So, I like to see that. They got a lot coming to us in season two, guys. This is some pretty good stuff overall. Between all these three updates, and we'll probably see more new cities added, new effects added. They're bringing a lot to us in season two already. Just in season two, so just 3 months, they're adding all this stuff. Just 3 months, pretty much, they're adding all of this to it. So I can imagine, given this some time, it's going to develop more into a more well fleshed out and balanced game. I want to stress that enough. This is going to be a more balanced game, given some time. So, they're bringing a lot to us right now. So I'm happy to see where it's going right now. But overall, guys, that's enough of my opinions. Just wanted to bring you as much season two news as possible. So if at all possible, please like, comment, subscribe. Let us know in the comments down below if you're excited for this as I am, because let me tell you what, I'm ready to restart. I am ready to get in the grind again. I love doing it. So I will be streaming right whenever it opens. As soon as we get the A-OK, we're gonna be all in. We're gonna be all in, folks. Trying to make it as close to a 24-hour stream as possible. I will try my best. Try and get it set up for y'all. Just let me know down in the comments what y'all like to see more of. And without further ado, it's PvP Kids signing off. See y'all in the next one.